Well, hello again. In this video, we are going to go into a little bit more detail about jobs in Tunisia, since that is what our story is going to be about. You are going to give the caregivers of your family within your story a job that exists in Tunisia. In this video, we are going to compare the jobs in Tunisia to jobs in Canada. But before we start that, I just want to go back for a moment to this quality of life website where we compared the quality of life in Tunisia to Canada. And I want to make sure that you understand you are writing a fictional story. So you do not have to put any of these numbers in your story. And you do not have to use any of these words. Index means a measurement. So you do not have to write any of these words. You can talk about the general quality of life between the two countries. But it would be better because it's a fictional story and families don't normally go around talking about purchasing power indices. You talk about how they went to buy a loaf of bread and it was very expensive, that sort of thing. It's just a general idea. Or how they had to pay maybe to go see the doctor, or maybe there was a lot of pollution that day. So that sort of thing. Of course, the climate you'll definitely want to talk about in the setting, how beautiful the climate is and the geography of Tunisia. But it's to give you a general idea. We do not want specific numbers or measurements. This is way beyond grade 3. We are learning how to measure with a ruler right now, but not this sort of measurement. So just keep it general. Okay, now let's take a further dive deeper into the jobs in Tunisia. So if you recall, rural means living in the country and urban means living in the city. These two graphs show us how many men are working compared to how many women are working in Tunisia. Now, you can see just a general glance at this, that in the country, in the rural areas, quite a few more men have jobs than women. So if we look at let's look at the coastal plains region where most of the people live in Tunisia. And here they're living in the country, so in villages. And we have, say this is a measured in percent, but if we have, think of 100 men with jobs, 100 men living in the country, 58 men would have jobs, 100 women, 27 women would have jobs. So that means there are 31 women that don't have jobs. Now, they may be at home looking after children, but there's an issue here in Tunisia. The women are very highly educated, but they do have a difficult time finding jobs. Even in the urban areas, there are a lot more men working than women. So this is one issue that has happened in Tunisia. This is 2012. I'm not sure actually if they've gotten a little bit better since 2012 because the government has changed since then, but we're not sure what's happened with COVID. So this again is just a general idea that women have a harder time of getting a job in Tunisia than men. Let's look at Canada. So here, let's just keep in mind where most of the people live here on the coastal region. There were 31 more men that had jobs in the country. It's not as quite as bad in the city. Before we go off to look at Canada, let's just look at the city for men and women. If we think of 100 men living in the city, 68 would have jobs. And if we think of 100 women living in the city, 45 would have jobs. So that's 23 women that don't have jobs. Let's look at Canada. Now, this is 2012. So we'll look at 2012 down here. So we have, if we have 100 men in Canada, 70 in 2012, 73 of them had jobs, 65 women had jobs. So that's a lot closer. A lot more women have jobs. That's only 9 women that don't have jobs. Now, they may be staying home to look after families. Sometimes the men are staying home to look after families as well. So you can see that the employment rate for women in Canada is a lot better than in Tunisia in this graph. So that's an issue, and you want to just talk about it generally. You don't need to have the exact numbers, the exact percentages, but you just want to talk about that issue of the economy in Tunisia. Talk to you soon.